One very cold morning on Friday 3rd, had this really strange dream. Let me tell you about it. In my dream, my house was in the middle of nowhere, all be tired, all and with an unbearable smell. I smelled like something was rotten. Well, I got in the house and saw a shadow passing by. I did not care too much about it, but suddenly I heard the noise of a broken window and the cry of a baby in the distance.
After listening to the horrible dream of Santiago, I went back to my house. Once I arrived, I knew that my family wasn't there because my sister and my brother were at school and my parents were working. I decided to make a sandwich because I was hungry. As I was preparing my snack, a chair in the kitchen suddenly moved by its own. At first, I thought it was just my imagination, but several minutes later, the television in one of the rooms turned on, and I was sure there was no one there. I was so paralyzed that I couldn't go to see what was going on. I ran to the bathroom, locked the door, and stayed there. I was really scared. This has never happened to me. And the worst part was that I forgot my sandwich in the kitchen. I was dying of fear and starving too. When my parents arrived, the television turned off and I finally felt relieved. I told them everything that I had happened, but they didn't believe me. I have no idea what happened to me that day, but there's one thing I'm sure. I didn't really enjoy it.
After I left school, I said goodbye to my friends at headed home. It's a bit of a long road, but truthfully, it has always been safe. But that day was the deception. I had the feeling that someone was following me, but there was no one around. I thought that maybe the things that Santiago told us made me feel very nervous, so I just let that feeling go and I got home. There was no one, as usual, because my mom kept working a little later. I was in the kitchen preparing something to eat, and suddenly a glass fell out of nowhere. The noise of the glass breaking scared me. I had to clean everything, and I couldn't stop thinking how it just felt like that. It was in a safe place, and actually, it could only fall if someone had pushed it. Anyway, I ate a little and did my homework. Later, I slept because I was very tired, and in my dreams, strange things happened. I was running through a very cold and lonely forest. I couldn't tell what I was running away from, but when that thing was about to catch me, my mother woke me up. It was so weird.
After school, I went to my house. I was feeling uneasy as I was walking on the sidewalk. I couldn't stop thinking about Santiago's dream until several hours later when I finally forgot it. Everything was going well until the night came. I was watching our movie when I suddenly remembered the dream. And even worse, the film was Friday 30. Coincidence? Maybe. When I finally called asleep, I had a nightmare that left a mark for life. There was a person with a horrible smile. His eyes were orange, and he was all dressed in black. His smile was actually a cut from the mouth to ears, and told me, I'm coming for you today to take you to hell with me forever. No matter what you do, I'll catch you. I woke screaming and squealing. My sister got angry with me because she had to wake up early, but I just called about it. I was so scared. I tried to go back to sleep, but I heard steps getting closer every time. My heart was beating very fast as I wanted to escape out of me. Suddenly the noise stopped, and it was just after a while that I finally fell asleep. Later on, I woke up and went to the kitchen for some water, and I found a essence that froze my blood. My sister's head was hanging on a hook, and behind her was a black shadow. I didn't know what to do. I was paralyzed and in shock. So I ran away and called Paulina for help. She told me to go to her place where it was a safe.
One day I had a terrible time in the school, so I got home, ate something, and when I was doing my homework, I realized I had forgotten some things I needed to finish, so I had to go out and got them. I left my house and walked to the store and bought some stuff for the project. It was around 6 p.m. when suddenly I saw a man dressed in black in the distance. It was so weird because I noticed that everything below his knees was missing. I got a bad feeling then. I turned around and kept walking. Suddenly, I realized that he was following me. I turned back for a moment and I saw him right behind me. So I just ran to my house as fast as I could. I couldn't stop thinking about that man. It was so scary. I finished my homework and saw my dad going to the bedroom to get some sleep. A few minutes passed when I found myself walking towards his room. I think it was just an instinct pulling me over. I opened the room, turned on the light, and where ice cream. It was my dad saying, "Get away from me." He was clearly having a nightmare. I woke him up.
I went up to the second floor since the crying came from there. I went in and saw a baby in a terrible condition. A lady came out of nowhere, turning around to grab me and say something. I couldn't understand what she wanted to say. Then, when I wake up from my dream, my door was open, and I always lock it before going to bed.